Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to Bob's Reactions. Today, I want to look at this video. There's another family that I watch, European family. I think they're British, and they watch things about America. Today, they're going to watch the video of how we captured Maduro, the Venezuelan dictator guy. I just saw this and I was like, oh, I gotta see that. When this whole Maduro thing happened, we woke up one morning and there it was. And I was curious about how, the whole mission and how it came about and how we actually did it. I love watching the videos about how we planned and captured bin Laden, and I figured I wouldn't dig too deep into the Maduro thing because I figured there'd be a cool video coming out soon that explains everything. And here we got one of my reaction channels that I watch. This this British family are reacting to how we caught Maduro. So let's check that out.
Welcome back to the family channel.
Hi.
We hope you guys are having a fantastically awesome day so far. Today we are reacting to how the US Delta Force raid captured Maduro. Now we know this is a little bit of a controversial topic for some people. I just want to state before the video has even started that Kat and I are not political in any way. We are watching this for the military mission because from what I've heard and seen, holy smokes, it's impressive. I think it was only 3 hours from start to finish, which is insane that they've gone into another country, captured its leader, dictator, whatever the heck he was, and they've got out of there, it's insane. So we're going to be checking that out. But before
that seems like a long time, actually. 3 hours.
Something magical happened last night. I was sitting in the living room.
Maybe they did a lot more things than just
freezing in here. Next minute, Missy over here goes all crazy like a banshee, screaming and jumping around. And what did you see?
I saw Northern Lights, guys.
For the first time. She's been waiting forever. We managed to get a photo over there.
It was amazing. Like, I was just sitting down and I followed this page and I got a warning, like there is a massive possibility to see the Northern Lights with your bare eyes. I was like, really? So I went to look through the window, and I couldn't see anything. So I opened the window wide.
In Great Britain?
I'm just looking and all of a sudden this red color just started to pop from behind the mountain and it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was like, no way. So I called literally
she woke the kids up and everything.
Like Garen's.
That would be really cool to see the northern lights. I've never seen them.
Friend was here for the sleepover.
Look, there's a Texas license plate.
And I'm like, this, you do not see this
I'm glad they're getting right into the Maduro.
The Maduro. Already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you want to support the channel, please use our Amazon affiliate link down below. Without further ado, let's check out how the US Delta Force raid captured Maduro.
America's back toppling again, because today we're going to learn how Delta Force captured Maduro from a heavily fortified base inside Venezuela and examine the massive 150 aircraft air campaign overhead. Then we'll look at who's actually in control of the country now. The first thing you need to know is the American raid really started 4 months ago with what's called Phase 1 shaping operations. It began in August when a group of CIA officers were secretly inserted.
CIA. We watched a video yesterday about the difference between CIA and FBI, so that makes a lot of sense from what we learned from the video, that they've gone in there and been taking notes, sort of thing, what's been going on
the ground into the country.
It's all corrupt.
They created intelligence packets that tracked Venezuelan President Maduro's movements down to the hour. And they operated a fleet of stealth drones that sent constant live updates, professionally stalking his position. The clandestine operation developed what's called a pattern of life, which is fancy intelligence speak for what we would call a daily routine. This way, intelligence officers narrowed down Maduro's location to Fort Tiona.
Every minute they knew.
The large base that lies just south of the capital of Caracas, where 3 million people live. On Saturday, January 3rd, 2026, in the dead of night at 2 a.m. local time, the U.S. government gave the green light on Operation Codename Absolute Resolve. The U.S. military launched a wave of targeted missile strikes all across the capital city. Oh boy, there I go toppling again.
Oh, I wonder how those people must have
like 3 days after New Year's Eve, after you've been hungover and you're waking up to that. Holy smoke!
Like, I would be pretty scared. Like, what is
I'd
going
be crapping my
on?
dash, especially at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're out like a lot. Do you reckon they heard any
We've never had
helicopters in it before, or
bombs and
just
missiles
bang, bang,
dropping in on us
crazy?
here?
It's mental that they were able to do this. I still can't get over it. I've had this video downloaded for such a long time, but because so many people have, well, for such a long time, since it happened basically, but since so many people have asked us, we've
With those, with the planes we have, I mean, even our older planes, F-18s and things, the capabilities, I mean, we can go in there and just pinpoint, take out. It's crazy the precision that we can employ.
got to eventually do it. So.
Were launched from 20 different bases and ships. The ground assault element chosen for the raid was 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta, and somewhat surprisingly, law enforcement from FBI agents from the hostage rescue team were also embedded alongside them to arrest Maduro.
That's unusual.
The bold tactics used for the insertion.
Yeah, that's unusual, isn't it, to have the FBI there?
Yeah.
Isn't it in a military operation? I didn't think
they're
like
the police.
FBI got involved.
Embedded alongside them to arrest Maduro. The bold tactics used for the insertion method shocked many military analysts. Reportedly, 11 American helicopters from the elite 160th SOAR Night Stalkers were deployed to spearhead this raid. SOAR is like the stunt drivers, but for helicopters, and they're loaded with like 300 special operators in the back. The team launched from the USS
They fly some high-speed
Navy amphibious assault ship that's parked just a few miles off the coast of Venezuela. They flew low, only about 100 feet above the Caribbean Sea to avoid enemy radar detection. Then they traveled the dangerous stretch of 10 miles over land from the northern
10
shores.
miles. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot. He could have hit anything there.
Yeah, 10, like...
That's...
Because they had to be undetected. For 10 miles, it's like a...
Yeah, they're flying really low, so they vulnerable to like attacks from the ground. More vulnerable.
Yeah, but they're gonna fly in a path that avoids
They came under fire en route. One helicopter was reportedly damaged, but it was still able to remain operational. As the air assault flew across the capital, explosions erupted behind them, and it was uploaded live onto X. The operators used the MH-47G Chinooks and the MH-60L, which are special variant helicopters which have unique countermeasures. Then they approached the base, and the Ocean's 11-style raid began. Raiding this complex is an extraordinarily risky job to even undertake. Fort Tiuna has hardened concrete gates. There are pillboxes built into the mountain right there with firing positions on the high ground, armed guard towers, and continuous 24/7
We got things that'll blast those out of the ground.
It's sort of like Venezuela's version of the Pentagon. You can see here it's built right into the side of the mountain to give defenders...
Holy smoke, so it's right on into the side. It must have underground like bunkers and stuff where they get hard.
Oh, it's probably got tunnels
and
into
it's
that.
So fortified with people.
Into the hill there.
These guys are going in.
I know we do. We got hidden bases all over inside mountains.
Its perimeter is pretty large. It's got about 2 miles wide by 4 miles
Stuff you'll
long.
never know about.
Intelligence reports estimate that 5,000 of Maduro's most elite soldiers are assigned to this post. According to reports, Maduro constantly moved around the country, changing where he slept each night and throwing out burner phones to avoid being tracked.
Just like, he's living just like Pablo Escobar, all these phones and moving around. Can't trust anybody. Why would you want to live like that?
To this location. But the base's defenses were defeated.
So obviously he knew he was up to no good. So he was like trying to be in disguise.
Burner phones.
Like
bye.
Yeah, didn't he
crazy.
like take over illegitimately by force
for 4 months
or something like that?
Exactly where he's going to be.
He wasn't elected.
This is what baffles me. Like, was he like having the routine changeover of the
Yeah,
rotations?
probably. He was probably switching it up, but because they had so much intelligence already there, they're just feeding it all back. They're like, right, he's there. This is the day we got to move, sort of thing. Or he's going to be there. It's freaking amazing. And to think that this operation only took 3 hours. 4 months of planning, 3 hours to
That's
do,
crazy.
and then it's done.
When they went in and got bin Laden, I guess it's a whole different mission, though. They were taking out military, defensive places, and with bin Laden, we just kind of dropped in on his house, right? We're talking minutes.
Because starting in mid-December, U.S. Cyber Command laid the groundwork by targeting the power infrastructure, planting malware in their systems. When Cyber Command flipped the switch, it turned the lights off in the country, completely killing electricity to the base and large parts of the capital city.
Dude, they could do that to us.
Sorry to pause again. This is fascinating.
That's how easy it is.
Talking about that in the in the military videos, that they're able to just flip a switch if they
can do that to us, guys.
And you've got no power, you've got no access to the outside world. Holy smoke!
And blame it on a
and large
flare,
parts of the capital city.
Solar
this cut off
flare,
communications, and made coordinating any kind of response extremely difficult. So the soldiers disembarked from the helicopters, the commandos hit the ground, and headed directly to the on-base house that Maduro was holed up in. U.S. General Kane said that the raiding force came under direct fire, which prompted American forces to respond with, quote, overwhelming force and self-defense, end quote. Intelligence officers on the ground with the team helped them navigate the compound. They provided intel to this breaching team ahead of time that revealed that there would be thick, solid steel doors protecting Maduro. This information came from sources close to Maduro's.
All the concrete rebar.
Yeah, they had someone on the inside because there was like a 20 million or something reward for him for information and stuff. So someone is sitting pretty now on some beach somewhere, chilling out with their reward money.
Was he in that small room?
No, I don't think it was as small as that, but they were saying he's got panic rooms there, so come prepared, sort of thing.
Okay.
So yeah, when it's built into the side of the mountain, realistically, you only have to have
dictator drug lords over there.
Like one reinforced like that.
Room that was
get it done.
Completely sealed off. So operators brought
with their
explosive
bunkers
breaching
and
charges and buzzsaws, and they were prepared to break through.
Chop saw.
Meanwhile, outside, the American direct action penetrator helicopter laid down close air support suppressing fire.
Look at that.
This is a special beast mode upgraded version of the Hilo.
I'm still baffled how they managed to do this when there is 5,000 soldiers on that ground.
They're sleeping.
Self-defense, he was saying.
Yeah, they're going to come in, take out all your first strike land-to-air defense missiles. They're going to take those out. I mean, they're going to take out all these things that are your tools to stop it. They're going to just take those out immediately.
Like they basically just they're so elite, babe. 5,000 is pretty much. You never know. Maybe 2,500 of them wanted him out.
Yeah,
they were like,
probably.
he's got to go. This guy's nuts. I don't know. I don't know the whole story behind anything. Like I said in the beginning, we're just really interested in this operation. And so far, it hasn't disappointed. It's so good.
It went weapons-free with 2 miniguns and hydro rockets. But then Hilo started taking fire from enemy man-portable Eagle air defense missiles. In response, pilots deployed their XM-216 Dark Flares. These defeat incoming missiles while staying invisible to the human eye. Delta Force finally launched into Maduro's
flares that defeat missiles but are invisible to the human eye. I've never heard of that. That's awesome. I'm actually going to look that up.
Base residence and found him. According to reports from CNN, who spoke to sources close to the raid, operators dragged Maduro out of bed, zip-tied, and blindfolded him while he was in the middle of sleeping. Then they led Maduro.
Could you imagine? I mean, his bunker wasn't too secure. They pulled the sheets off of him.
And his wife outside onto the Chinook helicopters and started flying back. Some Venezuelan military officer who gave away their location and was a source to the CIA just got $50 million in reward money.
Oh, it's $50 million.
But this was only...
Serious question here. Why did they take his wife? Was she just as guilty as he was? I don't know.
She must have been. She must have been.
I heard something that she had a black eye.
Maybe it was for her own protection. Maybe the military have been like, hey, get this guy out of here. You've got to take his wife as well because there's so many.
He had told her to shut up the night
I've seen some
before or
videos
something.
of people celebrating in the streets over there. I don't know this guy.
Yeah, because if you think about it,
we don't condone that, of course.
Or maybe she was working as part of it.
That's what I heard. She had a black eye.
Half the mission. Because the operators still had to safely extract.
Fake.
It was vital to the mission mandate that they capture him alive. If Maduro was somehow killed en route or during exfiltration, it would look like America had ordered an assassination mission, which would cause all kinds of additional legal trouble. This was one of the most geopolitically sensitive missions that I can think of in recent history. They had kicked
America's crazy.
The whole freaking country was coming down on them now.
Crazy.
The question on every Delta Force operator's mind on the way back was, could they trust U.S. air power to cover their exfiltration? On their way out of Venezuela, the U.S. air power continued to strike strategic military installations across the country to create a diversion for them to safely escape.
Diversion, or, hey, let's just take all this other stuff out while we're at it.
F-22 Raptors, F-35 stealth fighters, F-18s, radar aircraft, and B-1 Lancer bombers participated in the attacks.
You can't see them.
They hit bases all over in the states of...
It's like a sparrow as far as the radar is concerned. It's like watching a sparrow come in with bombs, missiles, guns attached to it.
La Guerra, Miranda, and Aragua. This was to create multiple dilemmas. This was achieved thanks to an air campaign that had been happening simultaneously overhead that achieved air supremacy. The operation reportedly involved 150 American fighter aircraft that had the goal of complete and total control of the skies.
150 planes, they're bombing all sorts of different targets just to cause chaos and like confusion.
F-16s
They got him out alive. And all this took place in 3 hours. Holy smoke, whole wars have been...
And I also heard, like, his wife kind of heard some commotion. Hey, something might be... I heard a noise. I mean, and they were right there. Like, they had no clue. That's badass.
Fought to catch dictators or presidents or whatever, and they've lasted how long? This took 3 hours. It's so impressive. Whether you agree with what happened or not.
Long-range precision missiles, large explosions were heard across the capital. Local language news reporting stated that these explosions targeted air defense radar antennas. This was a massive seed operation, suppression of enemy air defenses. According to OSINT,
doing this to a country and blowing up, I mean, those things are rubble. It's broken concrete and just rubble right now. I mean, that's got to set you back a little bit, huh? What does it cost to build all that, and what? It's got to set them back.
Fender on X, good friend of the show. The air campaign destroyed Buck long-range air defense systems and knocked out all the armored vehicles at the bases. And since then, new satellite imagery has come out and shown the scale of the destruction at the base. Large parts of the base were entirely flattened. American jammers, scrambled radar systems, and anti-radiation missiles
like selective
targets
were taken out.
Air defense launchers. Not Putin furiously taking notes on how to do a special 3-day military operation with 69 hours to spare.
That's fact. Look, that is so true. I never even thought of that. Look, that's what Putin was trying to do by going into Ukraine.
Yeah.
How long's that been going on? This took 3 hours.
Holy smokes! Is because they struck major air bases, including the
one a little different, isn't it?
And the Iguarota Airport, where Maduro's air force of MiG fighter jets.
I wish I owned one of those.
We see the aftermath of destroyed armored vehicles on base here. Pulling together a response was difficult for Maduro's forces because Fort Tiuna, the military installation, housed some of the most high-level military generals, and once it was hit, it sent them all into chaos. In dictatorships, sometimes they keep all of their decision-making military officials central in one single consolidated location, which is useful for maintaining control, but on the other hand, it has the downside of a single point of failure or weakness. Explosions hit the port La Guerra, which is one of Venezuela's most strategically important ports that controls regime-linked money. These shaping operations were designed to cause confusions and disorientation in Maduro's forces, because what stunned military observers about this assault was that helicopters were the defining feature. Combat footage showed Marine Corps Viper and what appeared to be Army Apaches striking ground targets with rockets. And typically these rotor aircraft are vulnerable and exposed without ground support alongside it. There are relatively slow-moving and often easy targets, these helos, or even handheld enemy air defense weapons. The fact that they were used in this raid indicates how confident U.S. war planners were that they would have total air supremacy at this point. But the question is, why weren't any American helicopters shot down by some of the reportedly 5,000 man-manned Igloo launchers? How was the resistance so ineffective? There are several different theories and answers, and it actually takes us down a really weird, strange, almost...
What are some of your theories? Some of my theories is a lot of the people didn't want him there, and they're like, hey, listen, guys, 1 o'clock, we get out of here.
Yeah.
Once you hear the helicopter,
it's too early for this
conspiratorial rabbit hole. So strap in. The overwhelming combat firepower the U.S. had amassed over the 6 months made resistance difficult. On top of that, polls show that Maduro was unpopular with 10 to 20% approval ratings due to people being exhausted over Venezuela's economic crisis and the political repression in the country. So maybe few were excited to put their lives on the line for Maduro.
It's got to be really
Sources
bad
from Venezuela's opposition, however, told Sky News
for that many
reporters
people
that
to hate
Maduro's
what's going
capture was
on.
actually a negotiated exit, not a forceful capture. Meaning they're claiming that Maduro actually knew American forces were coming to capture him and that he had agreed to it prior, and this ground assault was an elaborate way of him giving himself up to American authorities.
I don't know about that one. That's more of a one that you just want to be like,
yeah,
I'll let them win. Sort of.
Ain't buying
I don't know
that.
about that one. Maybe
It's a tricky one.
It's quite logical from his standpoint. He's like, yeah, I will step down. I will step back. You got to make it look real because, like, I don't want to look soft. But I doubt it. I doubt they would give it.
No, you don't build a bunker and do all
such a bad guy.
all the defense that he did.
Fine. We'll spend millions just to come get you out.
Give it all up.
Why would he do that? For domestic audiences in Venezuela, it theoretically looks better for him to say, I was captured by the Americans, than I cut a deal and laughed. It was surprising to experts that Maduro's wife was brought with him, because this is very unusual in rendition.
Did you just call me an expert? Because it's unusual for me as well.
Oh, well,
I'm not an expert.
You know your stuff.
Not in the least. I don't know this.
Experts that Maduro's wife was brought with him, because this is very unusual in rendition military operations like this. His wife was previously not criminally charged, and we only just learned that she's now also being charged after their capture. However, there is yet to be any actual hard evidence of this, even though a surrender may have been negotiated. His military troops.
These kind of people are all involved in.
It doesn't fully explain the poor
criminal, corrupt
of Maduro's security forces. U.S. President Trump said,
actions.
"We were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not." Another theory is that he was sold out by somebody high up in the regime, like his vice president or defense minister, who ordered his troops to not resist the capture of Maduro. The alternative for how U.S. operators successfully pulled this off without losing a single helicopter is it could be because modern U.S. helicopters have electronic defeat of missile systems. It's called direct infrared countermeasures.
Yeah,
which
they're
detects
so high
tracks
tech.
and fires a laser directly into the seeker head, blinds it, confuses the missile, doesn't know which way it's pointing, and that works against Igloo launchers. Those launchers require proper storage also and training, which they appear to have not had. The 160th SOAR flies low-profile flights as well that deny the enemy the ability to see and engage them.
Taxes are so high, and why every last cent of them go to our
mission was the result
military
of months
defense.
of planning and rehearsals. Either way, the helicopters safely made their way back over the nation, back to the U.S. Navy fleet, waiting for them offshore, where this photo was taken of Maduro. There were no American combat fatalities.
Apparently, because that's a Nike tracksuit or
I saw something. They said they turned Maduro into, who is it, Dr. Death? Is that what the streamer?
Nike or whatever one you call it. Apparently, the sales went up massively after this photo was released.
Seriously?
Where this photo was
Sales
taken
for
of
what?
Maduro. There were no American combat fatalities.
Because that's a Nike tracksuit or Nike or whatever one you call it.
Oh, a Nike
Apparently
tracksuit.
Bullet and shrapnel wounds, but nothing life-threatening. But now that Maduro is captured, who's in charge in Venezuela now in the aftermath? It's not as simple as a normal regime toppling that you might be familiar with. President Trump said that the U.S. government will now run Venezuela now in the aftermath of the capture of Maduro. He said this will happen until a safe, proper, judicious transition of power can happen. The idea here is that the U.S. naval blockade of Venezuela's oil will essentially, in theory, allow the U.S. government to control Venezuelan authorities, no matter who's in power there, without needing to actually put the boots on.
I guess we got
The U.S. government has stated they believe no further military action is anticipated in Venezuela. However, the resistance is forming in the nation already that could challenge this. Venezuelan Interior Minister Cabello appeared on TV in the street wearing a helmet and body armor, telling the population not to cooperate with quote-unquote terrorist enemies. Currently, Rodriguez was just sworn in as the acting president there, and according to the U.S. government, she's cooperating behind the scenes because she has no choice. However, in public messages, she's very defiant.
Take out this guy and put a woman in charge.
Is that the Venezuelan government is in disarray at the moment.
What is wrong with people?
They called on the people to take to the streets, but so far it's been a quiet, muted response, not millions taking to the streets in an uproar. But how do the actual people, the population living in Venezuela, feel about all of this? Do they love it? Do they hate it?
Yeah.
Something we don't talk about enough. Looking at the Spanish local news reporting,
they were all cheering, thinking America.
That the response from the people of Venezuela has been mixed, saying, quote, residents expressed shock at the U.S. military attack that left them wondering who was now actually in charge of the oil-rich nation. Some are celebrating the fall of the dictator. Other pro-Maduro factions are riding around with weaponry.
Look at her. She means business.
Isn't that a man?
Is it?
Is that a man?
So.
Painted nails.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a lady. I suppose men can paint their nails as well.
Yes, as American imperialism. People are hoping that
she's rough looking,
is out of power, sanctions against the country will be reduced, and possibly the economy would improve. Others are skeptical of what will happen in the power vacuum. But was any of this even legal in the first place? When the U.S. captured Saddam and Noriega, they had some kind of congressional approval. When the Libyan dictator was toppled, they too had some kind of congressional approval. This attack was conducted without any kind of notification or authorization. What happens to Maduro from here? Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that Maduro would stand trial for criminal charges in the United States for narco trafficking.
Crazy. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I just don't know. But there you have it. Graham family reacts to capture of Maduro. Hope you enjoyed it. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm glad you made it this far. If you liked it, hit the like button. That gets it sent out over the interweb so everybody else can see it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. We would really appreciate that support to help grow the channel. Also, we want to know what you're thinking, and we'd like to read your comments. So get in there, and also to support us, you can check out my online store at Shopify at nickel-dimes-2.myshopify.com. Go there, browse the products, check it out. Might be some cool stuff that might actually come in handy. So other than that, thanks for the support. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.